It's Emily Wardrop from Drop the Word Life Coaching. Welcome to Believe You Are a Good Mom podcast. So today we are going to talk to those of you who, when I ask you, do you believe that you are a good mom? Or when I say, are you a good mom? The answer is yes. Okay. So why would you need to believe that you're a good mom if you already do think that you're a good mom? So we're going to talk neuroscience today. We're going to talk higher, lower brain. We're going to talk layers of awareness. So if getting nerdy on the brain is not really your thing, hang on tight because I promise this is good stuff. And I'm no neuroscientist myself, so it's not going to get too technical here. It's going to be as easy as it is for me to understand to be able to relay it back to you. So pretty basic, actually. Okay. So here's the thing. I ask you, are you a good mom? You say, yeah. In fact, my friend told me yesterday, she was telling me about a situation with her daughter, and I was like, and you are still a good mom, because that's my thing, right? And she was like, yeah, I am. I'm a pretty phenomenal mom, if I do say so myself. I'm like, you go, girl. You are a phenomenal mom. Say so yourself all day long. Okay. So you know that you're a good mom, right? You even know that you're a phenomenal mom. Awesome. That is what I call higher brain thinking, right? So all the animals have a brain, right? And humans have always had a brain, right? As far as historians and psychologists and whatever neuroscientists go, they call it the primitive brain, right? Is your lower brain. And that's the same brain that all the animals have, right? They just want to make sure that they're fed, perpetuate the species. It's actually pretty amazing what brains can do. If you watch, any Animal Planet shows or whatever, oh gosh, can't think of what it's called now. On Disney Plus, Disney is with Net. Oh my gosh, what is it called? You know what I'm talking about. They used to have a magazine. Now there's a whole. Anyway, animal shows teach you about all the different things about animals. It's very incredible what all of their brains do, but it's pretty specific to each, right? Like cheetahs can run the fastest of any animal, but they only do little sprints. They can't, keep up that speed for very long. They just need it, to hunt their prey. Basically, everything about an animal's brain is to keep them alive and get them fed, right? To keep them alive and to perpetuate the species. Our brain is like that too. So there's what they call the motivational triad, where our brain is just trying to conserve energy. Good night. Talk about brains. It's really early right now. I just woke up early to record this while my kids are still asleep. And mine's not quite online. Anyway, we want to conserve energy. Anyway, we'll talk about all three. Just can't think of them off the top of my head. The point is exactly what I already said, right? The brains are trying to keep you alive, keep you fed, perpetuate the species, right? There you go. So yeah, that's what all the animals can do. Humans, on the other hand, they've discovered their brains have this part that they call the prefrontal cortex, which is for executive functioning, they call it, right? Which is decision making. It's what we overarchingly just call wisdom, right? So being able to think rationally, okay? Whatever that means, right? It means that we can take extra thought about our thoughts, actually, is what that means. So our thought that we just need to stay alive keeps us alive, but it also keeps us safe. It keeps us playing small. It keeps us in fight or flight, actually. So like the animals, right? If danger arises, then we need to flee, right? Or fight or fawn or whatever. They've come up with all the new stuff. So in parenting, right, that's not that useful because you're not actually being attacked by tigers. You're just surrounded by toddlers, okay? And so your brain goes in high alert, and living in a house full of toddlers, you're actually probably in fight or flight quite a bit. And and kids are too, because they don't even have their prefrontal cortex developed yet. This is like in your 20s when it's pretty well formed. So kids are running on little animal brains, just like all the animals, and all they want, they're wired for fun. They They're just in their own little worlds with their little brains, right? And we are adults. So as adults, we're supposed to be expected to have the emotional management, the executive thinking, all the things, right? Okay, what does this have to do with being a good mom? The point is that when I say, are you a good mom? And you say yes, you're using your higher brain. So your higher brain knows that you are a good mom. It's who you are at your core. It's felt that, it knows that, but there's 100,000 thoughts a day. Well, they literally say like 60,000 thoughts a day. And so not all of those thoughts are being thought by your prefrontal cortex. You're having primal brain thoughts, lower brain thoughts. Okay, and I'm going to show you, because this is what I've been discovering lately, is that people don't have awareness of some of these thoughts, right? And that's what coaching does, is help you become aware of some underlying thoughts that are actually driving everything else, okay? Because your thoughts create your feelings. So if you're feeling crappy, you're not thinking higher brain thoughts necessarily. Depends on what crappy feeling, that's kind of a vague emotion word. So there's some, quote unquote crappy thoughts that you want to be feeling, and you are thinking higher thought, like if you're sad, that your kid is sad or what. Anyway, tangent, coming back. So the point is that if you're frustrated, irritated, annoyed, you get in that realm ever with your house full of toddlers? Of course you do, because of what you're making it mean. So this is what we're going to talk about today, is getting awareness of your lower brain thoughts by using the question, what am I making it mean? Because if you think that you're a good mom, that's great. And that's true. The problem is that there's underlying thoughts that you're making it mean that you're a terrible mom, and you're not giving those thoughts airtime. You don't even realize that they're there, but they are causing feelings that are driving actions that are giving you results that you don't want. Okay. So if you're feeling like there's a struggle in the relationship with your kids, we've got to check out the underlying thoughts that you don't even know are there. And that's what coaches help you do. That's what I will help you do. Figure out what it is that you're almost unconsciously thinking, right? Because we have our conscious brain and we have our subconscious brain, okay? And the brain is so amazing that if you think something long enough, it delegates that thought to the lower brain, that it just goes unconscious to do it, right? And so we have patterns of thinking that turn into limiting beliefs that just drive us all the time. And we need to question those. We need to become aware of those, and we need to realize that it's optional to continue to think those, or we can change those thoughts with a little work, maybe a lot of work sometimes, and practice and intentionality in order to believe new thoughts that are going to create different results. Does that make sense? So let me give you an example. Okay. Are you a good mom? Yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Maybe like an 8. Okay, so if good is 10, then you don't exactly believe you're good. You believe whatever 8 is. Okay. And some people want to say that 10 is, excellent or phenomenal or amazing or whatever. I just use the word good. That's a subject for another time. But good, I think, is 10 out of 10, mom. You're good. It's who you are at your core. All the other words are great, but we're just trying to believe who we actually are, and who we are is good. Okay. And yes, you are awesome and amazing and phenomenal and all the other things. But on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is good. If you gave yourself an 8, then you don't really think you're good. And we need to look at why. So between 8 and 10 is what? And you will give me an example of something you did, probably. You'll give me an example of something your kid is doing. Okay. This is the thing. You think you're a good mom. Awesome. I want you to believe you're a good mom. So you think you're a good mom, but your kid is still not potty trained, and she's like 3.5. And you think that kids should be potty trained by now. They're supposed to potty train at like 2 or something. Who knows what your expectation is? But your kid is not doing what you think she should be doing. That's fine, except for the lower brain thoughts of what you're making it mean. Okay. It would be fine. You think it's a problem. You're bringing it to me as your coach. Help me potty train my daughter. Why are you even bringing that up? Why do you even think it's a problem? Because of what you're making it mean. And as moms, I'm telling you, 9 out of 10 times the problem that we have with our kids' behavior is because we're making it mean something about us. And those are the unconscious thoughts that we need to look at and remind our brains intentionally, consciously, over and over and over during the day. We need to redirect our brains to remember that we are a good mom, even when our 4-year-old is not potty trained yet. Do you see where I'm getting? So, are you a good mom? Yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, an 8. Why are you an 8? Well, my kid is still not potty trained, and a good mom would have her kids potty trained by age 2, or whatever it is that your brain is thinking. Like, you really got to dig it out without judgment, without editing. What are you actually thinking? What age are kids supposed to be potty trained? Why is it a problem that she's not potty trained by 4? Okay. She's a problem because kids are supposed to be potty trained by 2. The problem thought will always have supposed to in it or should or something along those lines usually. Okay. So baby is supposed to be potty trained by 2. My kid is 4. There's a problem here. What's the problem? Either what you're making it mean is there's something wrong with your kid, probably is the first layer. And then if you're like, what's wrong with that? Like, okay, there's something wrong with your kid. She hasn't gotten potty training figured out yet. And what's wrong with that? There's something wrong with me. Okay. We're always going to make it mean that there's something wrong with us. And that is why this podcast is all about believe that you are a good mom. Because when you strip it all down like that, slow it down, figure it out, your kid is not potty trained yet, and you are a good mom, then the reason why this is so important is because it will change the way you show up with your kid, which will change your relationship with that sweet kiddo that's not going potty on the potty. Okay. If you are frustrated because you thought she should have been potty trained by age 2, she's been living literally half of her life with you frustrated all day, because this is a daily, like not once a day thing that you have to deal with, right? Every time she has an accident and you freak out, that's affecting your relationship because you're thinking crappy thoughts about her and she's thinking crappy thoughts about herself and about you. And that is causing a crappy relationship, right? So we got to figure out that you're making it mean something about you and clean that up, because it doesn't mean anything about you what age your kids get potty trained. I promise. It just means that she's not potty trained yet. And there's absolutely no problem here. It's totally fine. If you want her to be potty trained, that's fine. We can take the steps to potty train her, but those action steps have got to be driven by a different thought feeling combination. If you're thinking she should have been potty trained at 2 and you're feeling frustrated, the actions that you take are going to be fueled by frustration, and those are not going to be pretty. Okay. You're familiar. You know what that looks like. Imagine that you were taking those same actions, but they were fueled by confidence, by calm. You want to feel calm during potty training? I promise you want to feel that versus frustrated. So what do you need to think instead? Not, oh, she should have been potty trained by 2 and she's not. There's something wrong with her. There's something wrong with me. Those are not the thoughts we want driving us. We want to be thinking, it's fine. She's on her own timeline. She's doing her thing. Here's the thing. We think that if we think that, we're letting ourselves off the hook, is what I always hear in some version of that. So we're just rationalizing, and we're going to be even worse, mom, if we think that, it's fine. I promise you, it works the opposite. When you give yourself some slack, give yourself some grace, let yourself off the hook, for goodness sake. Like, what is this hook? Who wants to be on a hook? That sounds terrible. So yeah, let yourself off the hook. Enjoy being a mom. Realize that it doesn't mean anything about you, that you're doing your best. Your child's doing their best. Your actions are going to come from calm. Imagine what kind of results you're going to get. Then you're going to see the results you want to see. I promise you it works the other way around. That when you are relaxed and chill and confident in your abilities as a mom and in who you are as a good mom, and you're not making it mean that you're a terrible mom, that your kid is not potty trained yet, then one day, gloriously, and I promise this happened recently with my 3-year-old, out of nowhere, they actually want to go on the potty. What? When you lay the pressure off of yourself, off of them, that is just fun. It's back to just being a natural bodily function that she'll be ready to do on the toilet whenever she's ready to do it on the toilet. She sees you doing it. She sees her siblings doing it. She'll want to join the club eventually when it's not just a subject that's filled with frustration and shaming and all the things. Because if you're shaming yourself, you're shaming her, I promise. We try to not shame our kids, whatever that means. The parenting experts always say that, right? What that means is exactly what we've talked about. If you're making it mean that there's something wrong with her, that is shame. If you're making it mean that there's something wrong with you, that is shame. Okay, we're dropping the shame. There's nothing wrong with your kid. There's nothing wrong with you. Everybody's doing it the best they can, however they can. It's fine. Just drop the war, people. And then you'll start getting the results. I promise that's how it works. So the first step is awareness of what it is that you are thinking that's driving the feelings that you don't like, creating the actions that you don't want, and the results that you don't want. Okay. And that is what a brain ninja warrior life coach can do for you, help you figure out what you're making it mean. So this is what I'll do for you in my coaching package, where you will believe that you are a good mom. So maybe you already think that you're a good mom, and that's what this whole episode's about. Okay. Even if you know that you're a good mom, you're still making it mean that you're not sometimes, I promise. Because if anybody knows this, it's me. I know I'm a good mom, and I still have to remind my lower brain of that all day long. Okay. So if you don't even have awareness of that, then the problem is that it's still happening and it's driving feelings, actions, results that you don't want in your life, but you don't have any control of it, right? Because it's all going on behind the scenes. Okay. So let's air it out. Let's figure it out. Let's clean it up, manage that brain so that you can get the results that you want, because you'll come to me and say, my kid keeps hitting his sister. Okay. I cannot figure out why he is hitting his sister. I really just want him to stop hitting his sister. And I'm like, well, believe that you are a good mom. You're like, no, you're not listening to me. My kid is hitting his sister. I want to change his behavior. I promise. As I've demonstrated through this whole episode, we can use this example too. Okay. So your kid is hitting his sister. So what? What are you making it mean is the question that'll get you the awareness of why it's a problem for you. Okay, he's hitting his sister. Obviously, that's a problem because his sister is getting hurt. Yeah, his sister's getting hurt, so just get his sister away from him. Yeah, but he's still hitting. It's still a problem. Okay, his sister's safe. Why is it a problem that he's hitting? Because he shouldn't. Oh, see, we've got one of those trigger word or red flag. See, shouldn't is like supposed to, right? Okay, he shouldn't hit his sister. Why is that? Because good kids don't hit. Oh, there we go. See, so there's something wrong with him, that he's not a good kid. He's a bad kid because he's hitting his sister. You see how you've associated that in your brain and you didn't even realize. You just thought, obviously, he shouldn't hit his sister. Yeah, but why is that so obvious? Why do we think that he shouldn't hit his sister? We can dig a lot more into that, but what it'll come down to is that you're thinking there's something wrong with him. And why is it a problem for you that there's something wrong with him? First of all, there's not, but we got to figure out what your brain is thinking. It's always making something mean about you too. You're a bad mom because you didn't teach him to not hit his sister. That's what we make it mean. I promise, people. So you don't consciously realize that you're making it mean that, but you are. And that's what's causing the problem for you. Because if it wasn't a problem, if he hit his sister, you would just go over there, comfort the sister, remind him that hitting hurts and that we don't want to be hitting our sister, and figure out what his thought feeling combination is, and like try to calm down his poor little primal brain that's on fight or flight, and fight it and all of the things, right? And you would do that from calm, right? From peace. We're trying to drop the war to create peace in our parenting. This is how we do it, right? We want to be peaceful. The reason you don't feel peace is because you're making it mean something about you. You could just step in and parent beautifully, the perfect peaceful parent that you want to be, except that you're making it mean something about you. So when you're steeped in shame, then you want to blame and say that there's something wrong with him, because it doesn't feel good to say there's something wrong with you. And then you're stuck in this trap that there's something wrong with everybody. Not true. You remind your brain, there's nothing gone wrong here. We're all humans doing the best we can with these brains, this mortal experience that we're having. It's all good. And now what do we want to do about him hitting his sister, right? But it's not an actual problem because we're not making it mean something about us. We're not taking it personal. We're not seeped in the shame, okay? Does that make sense? So really, knowing that you are a good mom will help you with every single kid behavior issue, mom behavior issue. I promise it will help. But we got to dig down, get awareness that you're even thinking that, because you think that you're not thinking it. When I say, are you a good mom? You say yes. So you consciously do not even realize that subconsciously, sometimes your behavior or their behavior, you're making it mean that you're a bad mom. Okay, are you seeing this now? So start recognizing it this week. And when you're like, holy cow, what Pandora's box did I just open up? When you start realizing your negative self-talk, what you make it mean about yourself, their behavior and your behavior, then you're going to be ready for me to coach you and help you remember that you are a good mom, okay? And to help you find those thoughts, clean them up, get rid of those limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs like he should be potty trained by 2 or he shouldn't be hitting his sister. These are limiting beliefs we have. And they're keeping us stuck in frustration, because the difference between expectation and reality is frustration. You're expecting him to be different than he is. It's hard to let him be him when you're steeped in all these unrealistic, really, expectations. So we delve deep into all of those and figure out which ones you want to keep, which ones you want to work on, which ones you want to just let go, all the things, okay? So believe you are a good mom by Christmas on my website, dropthewordlifecoach.com/appointments. When you sign up to work with me, use the coupon code Christmas and you'll get 11% off. And let's get started. Okay. I'll talk to you again soon. Hey, if you are a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, this is coming out on General Conference morning. So I hope you're watching conference and not listening to this, but better believe we're going to have some examples from conference and upcoming podcasts, because there's good parenting stuff all mixed in, brain science stuff all mixed in, all the goods. Love it. So have a good conference weekend, and we'll be back whenever, because you never know when these podcasts are going to drop. You never know when I'm going to wake up sooner than the kids and be ready to just come downstairs and record something for you. Never know. For sure on Wednesdays, but bonus episodes whenever, because it's all whatevs around here, because we're not making it mean we're a bad life coach. Right? You are a good mom, my friend. Talk to you later. Bye.